Hello, my name is Elena, and I have titled this presentation Elena as a Learner, Pros and Cons. About me, I live in Winnipeg, Manitoba. During COVID, I went back to school and finished my degree in business administration, and I now work in human resources. And that third picture is the University of Winnipeg, where I now work and also where I got my degree. Few of my favorite things. I love a rainy day. I love to stay inside with cozy blanket and fluffy socks. I love baking, particularly trying new recipes. I am a big fan of cats. That is my cat Gizmo, who is sleeping behind me as I record this. I really love books. If I ever won the lottery, the first thing I would do is build a giant Beauty and the Beast style library. And I really love lists, preferably with a pen and paper, because the satisfaction of crossing things off is just not something you can get digitally. When I was planning this assignment, it ended up in a sort of list form of things I do well as a learner and also things that I struggle with or would like to improve on as a learner. Now, for the things I do well as a learner, I would say I'm pretty lucky in that learning has always come fairly easily. It started pretty early. I have both an older brother and an older sister, so I always kind of wanted to keep up with them. So I walked quickly and I talked quickly, and I started reading really young. I've always done fairly well in school, often without trying as hard as I could, and I've generally been pretty successful in starting new jobs and in picking up what I need to learn there. Next, and probably part of why learning has come easily, is that I do genuinely enjoy it. I like knowing things, understanding how things work. I feel really grateful to be alive in the same time as Wikipedia and its kind of endless knowledge rabbit holes that you can go under. My interest in learning and development started when I worked at a place that was really big on continuous improvement, and I found that to improve something, you have to understand it, and kind of teaching someone about it is a good way to do that. As someone who's never done a process is more likely to ask, why is this done this way and why not another way, rather than someone who's maybe done it 100 times and doesn't think about it anymore. And finally, I do think I am good at explaining things that I have learned to other people and also learning in a group. I spent a very long time working in retail, and despite being a pretty committed introvert, I was a very good salesperson. And part of that is knowing how to ask questions so that the people are buying what they actually want and need instead of just buying something that they don't like and will return later on. And that ability to ask questions has served me well both in group learning situations and also in workplaces. And now for the things I struggle with. First, it is learning and kind of maintaining focus and motivation when it comes to subjects I am not interested in, even when I can see the utility in them. For example, as part of my business degree, I had to take an accounting course, and I hated every minute of it. Even though I can see why accounting would be very useful and good to know, I just couldn't get myself to engage with it as well as I would have liked to. And next is I've kind of struggled with the idea that learning always has to be useful. It has to have a practical intention in terms of like achieving a goal or taking the next step in your career. The image is a chocolate teapot, which is apparently an idiom, useless as a chocolate teapot. So over the last couple years, I've kind of tried to learn things just for the sake of learning them. Like sometimes it can just be fun, and it doesn't always have to be about getting a raise or a higher position or advancing in that way. And finally, the one that I am hoping to work on the most with this certificate program is taking action based on what you've learned. I sometimes kind of go back to the comfort of learning, I guess. I'll read another book or watch another YouTube video, podcast, that kind of thing, rather than taking action and implementing what I've learned and building and creating something. And so I'm really working on changing that. Listening, and I'm really looking forward to the rest of the course and learning about different techniques to engage learners regardless of their various strengths and weaknesses.